So Bria Hartley is driving in. Sophie Cunningham works. Kelsey Mitchell comes down. Sophie Cunningham overhelps. And Bria Hartley just kind of plows through her leg by the looks of things. She kind of plows through the knee. And Sophie's holding like her patella.
Sophie Cunningham. Oh, man. I got to tell you, this victory, it came with a big price. Bria Hartley, let me just start there because we've got Sophie Cunningham's sister and mother weighing in on the league, and Bria Hartley right here. This is Hartley right here coming in.
To slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls
and she crushes in
on
the knee of Sophie right here.
She went down hard.
And that was it.
Let's be honest. If any other team were dealing with this bizarre string of coincidental injuries, it would spark a federal investigation overnight. So why is the WNBA acting like it has a personal grudge against its biggest star? Because if this continues, the league's greatest phenomenon could be sabotaged before it even reaches its prime.
As an Indiana Fever fan, this absolutely sucks. I mean, first we lose CC. We don't know when she's coming back, if she's coming back. And now this happens to Sophie Cunningham. Are we just cursed?
This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it.
Caitlin Clark sidelined for 12 straight games with a nagging groin injury that somehow keeps flaring up the moment she's close to returning. Ari McDonald shut down for the season with a fractured bone in her right foot. Sydney Colson done for the year after tearing her ACL. One by one, the roster is being gutted, and none of it feels like coincidence.
It looked bad. She's going to be done for the year. I don't know how much longer the Indiana Fever can continue to survive with these injuries. I just have to be honest. I got to be real. We lost Sydney Colson to a torn ACL. Ari McDonald, broken bone in her foot. Caitlin Clark has played like 12 games all year or something like that. DeWanna Bonner scammed us. I mean, it's been a complete shit show, to say the least. It's been a shit show. I just got to be honest.
That's 4 core players gone from the same team. 4. Most teams might lose one starter in a bad season. Maybe 2 if the injury bug really bites. But the Indiana Fever? They're losing players like it's some warped version of Survivor. And the WNBA? They're just sitting on their hands, pretending this is business as usual.
I mean, immediately in the game, the refs was just on some ish, bro. Just on something, and y'all know what I always say, man. What if Sophie or somebody was your aunt, your niece, your daughter? You know, you got to put yourself in reality, you know, because she is somebody's daughter, she is somebody's sister, and this is just unfortunate. And those of you who don't think a civil rights investigation need to be brought upon this league is tripping. This civil rights investigation.
And the league's answer? Signing Odyssey Sims to a hardship contract. Because they literally don't have enough healthy guards left to fill a roster. Just sit with that for a moment. The most popular team in women's basketball history has been reduced to scrambling for emergency replacements just to put 5 players on the floor. This isn't bad luck. It looks like the calculated dismantling of the WNBA's golden goose.
Sophie Cunningham lying down, clearly in pain, visible pain, agony, pain, stays down. Gotta cut to commercial. The medical staff comes around her. She looked like she walked off on her own accord, but it looked like she walked off in pain on her own accord. Out for the rest of the game. Only played 10 minutes. And that's where Lexi Holt needed to step up, and step up she did. Step up she did.
Athletes. Pathetic.
Sophie's sister Lindsay and her mom Paula. At WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game, protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, officially, my 2 favorite players in this league that I really love to, particularly love to pull for, they're both out now. And it did not look good. No word on that, by the way.
Pathetic. That's the only word for what we're watching unfold. Sophie Cunningham has already been fined 4 times this season for daring to call out officiating failures. Now, she's the one stuck on a trainer's table because those same refs couldn't be bothered to protect her from reckless, dangerous plays. The irony might be laughable if it weren't so infuriating. Even Sophie's mother, Paula Cunningham, openly blasted Hartley before scrubbing her comments. When a player's own family is calling out opponents for what looks like intentional harm, that should be the league's wake-up call, not another excuse to hand out fines.
You can literally hear her screaming in pain. It's so heartbreaking. Indiana Fever star guard Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer, had a lower leg injury today against the Connecticut Suns.
Caitlin Clark has now missed 19 of Indiana's 32 games this season. 19. The very player who delivered millions of new fans and billions in revenue to the WNBA has spent more time sidelined than she has on the court. And we're expected to chalk it up to coincidence? Her injury log reads more like a medical manual. 3 weeks with a left quad strain, 2 weeks with a left groin issue, and now a right groin injury that's kept her out for over a month. These aren't random tweaks from conditioning. They're the direct result of the relentless pounding she's taken from opponents who seem to treat Target Clark as the first line of the scouting report. Former Iowa coach Lisa Bludder put it plainly: the game plan against Clark is always physical. But there's a vast difference between hard-nosed defense and the dangerous levels of contact we're seeing. Even Fever coach Stephanie White has admitted the physicality has reached a level she hasn't seen in years. That's not just coach speak. It's a flashing red warning that the league is letting a destructive precedent take root.
When they got a damn lawsuit. It is Sophie as well. It's Sophie as well. Just the amount of calls, the way she's been treated. Watch this. 6 league. I mean, just immediately. First, look at this. Instantly into the game. Instantly. Immediately Sophie got hammered. They had a target to hurt Sophie. She was targeted by this team for a reason. They wanted to hurt Sophie. They made it their business to hurt Sophie.
The most damning evidence of the WNBA's agenda isn't hidden in injury reports or buried in game tape. It's written in the league's own reactions. When players like Sophie Cunningham dare to criticize officiating, they're slapped with escalating fines. $500, then $1,500, then more. When coaches like Stephanie White raise concerns about players' safety, they're sanctioned. But when referees swallow their whistles on blatant flagrant fouls, when players are hacked, shoved, and mauled with zero repercussions, when stars are sidelined in droves, nothing, absolute silence. Christine Brennan of USA Today summed it up after one especially outrageous no-call. The WNBA failed to rise to the occasion. And she's right. Fans are tuning in like never before, with record-breaking viewership and unprecedented media coverage. And what they see is a league allowing games that evolved into demolition derbies. Meanwhile, head of officiating Monty McCutcheon insists the league holds referees accountable. But where's the accountability when Clark is shoved to the floor and it's called a common foul? Where's the accountability when Cunningham gets wiped out on a so-called clumsy fall that looked anything but accidental? The silence isn't just negligence, it's complicity.
I told y'all Bria Hartley is a dirty player. She's no different than Dejanay Carrington. It just doesn't get as much publicity because the Connecticut Sun stink. Point blank, period. She's reckless. She injured Sophie Cunningham, and it is a travesty. Stephanie White, you better go and you need to be buying Kelsey Mitchell food all week. You need to send her a personal masseuse because she saved your job tonight. Your ass should have been fired if y'all had lost today. Point blank and period. You was horrible. Bro, before you could sneeze, we was down by 10 plus points in the first quarter.